Okay. Now you can ask me whatever you want.
Scott, you're talking about the best version of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a definition of this best version? Will you ever reach it?
I feel like this might feel like a cop-out answer, but I'm not trying to cop out. The best I can do is do that every day. That's as far as I can go being the best I can, right? And every day it starts over, which is unfortunate. And now I do have habits and patterns that help me do that a lot easier. You know what I mean? If I had no plan, no ideas, no way how I wanted to be, that would be much harder. But like, there's always an opportunity. I always see is there's always opportunity for me to be better tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I can be better right now. But I'm saying like the ultimate version of myself is only as good as I am today, really. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Does that feel like a cop-out?
No.
Okay.
No. And so you do not put yourself under pressure in terms of growing, self-development, and so on. Or do you?
Okay. So the question is, do I put myself under pressure to grow?
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I like it a lot. Mm-hmm. Like I like really working on being the best. It's such a cool feeling when someone has a great experience interacting with me and it's like truly great. And they tell me it's great, not like me, like me assuming like they go, that was a lot of fun, or I love talking to you, or whatever it is. Right. And so part of that is how, for me only, it's how I show up. So if I want them to have a great experience to me, it's how I show up. And if they show up maybe lesser than, it's also an opportunity, like you said, like on the podcast, you said that, like if your kid's grumpy, like go around and do a gratefulness. There's opportunities there for me to bring awareness to gratefulness through the story that they're coming with, maybe that's like negative or sad or whatever. That's part of my coaching too, right? My coaching as a whole is just bringing mental and physical awareness to you. And that's not always comfortable, but if I can get you to come to it on your own without me having to just go like, hey, you're fucking up, then it's more, it's more powerful. You feel it, you know what I'm saying? So if I ask the right questions and I observe and I'm present and I show up and I'm not drunk or whatever it is, like I don't bring, like we'll say, for example, I have an issue with my girlfriend and we got in an argument or something, right? And now I'm showing up for a real live appointment with another human being. Like it's my responsibility to try to dump and put aside and let go of that energy as much as I possibly can so I can show up for them, because they're going to pick up on it. Because they might not necessarily pick up on it, but on some level they will. Because when I'm coaching and someone comes in with stuff, I pick up on it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So absolutely. But that's also how I show up, right? If I didn't show up as the best version of myself, I might not pick up on everything that's happening around me that's not being said. And you can't do that drunk either, No,
absolutely not. And was there a special happening, an event or something in your life that has changed your attitude and shaped it towards more gratitude?
1000%. And like, it sounds, so
tell me.
Okay. So because I have this whole theory that life will give you a couple of those, right? Like example, like on the podcast, you were like, hey, I opened the fridge when I was pregnant. I was like, oh, I shouldn't drink. Like that was a moment.
Yeah.
And you just went like this. You were just like, well, I didn't see that. I had nothing to see here. You know what I mean? And life gives you a lot of those, right? And so mine, for me, it sadly was like I was married and my marriage came to a divorce. I had waited a long time to get married. We had been together a long time before we got married and got divorced like super quick. Oh. And it's the biggest tragedy that I've experienced so far in my life. That's minus like deaths of grandparents and things like that, like my own personal stuff. And not only that most of my friends couldn't relate because a lot of them are not divorced, my parents aren't divorced. So they had no way to date. So I didn't have really anybody to go to with this. And so I had to process it, and I had to deal with it, and I had to come to terms with it. And coming out of that, I was like, I can do whatever I want. Like, I'm not beholden to another human being. I don't have any responsibility. I didn't have kids at that time. I didn't have a kid with her. So who do you want to be? What do you want to do? How do you want to show up? And it wasn't that dramatic in the beginning, but 100% that's where it started, because I was like, in a small way, I'm a big people pleaser. And so all I had done is please people my whole entire life, right? Just pleasing. And I was like, guess what? I get to please when I want to. Now, I go out of my way and do a lot of stuff for a lot of people. I don't want to say to please them, but to do things for them because I choose to. And if I don't want to, I don't. But I try to make that choice because I understand the importance of showing up for other people and blah, 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 and how great, how rewarding that is for me to serve others, right? And so, you know, if I don't want to do something, I don't do it. I just don't. Like, I don't have to explain. I don't explain anything. I don't give people reasons. And that's all, because the rest of the time I'm showing up 100% for you as the best person I could be. So if I decide that I don't want to do something, I just stay home by myself. You know, I just take care of me. You know, but a lot of people don't look at it that way. You know what I mean? Like, I also look at it as like, I get to take my daughter to school. I get to have this wonderful job. I get to, not I have to.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's a great mindset too. But you said you were a people pleaser. Me too, by the way. And I was full of tensions, inner tensions. And people pleasing for me also means you're wearing a mask all the time, smiling, saying yes while you mean no, and you are 100% not authentic. And people pleasing fueled my addiction, definitely. So how did you deal with that people pleasing, and when did you realize I have to change now?
In getting married and waiting so long, I didn't want to get divorced, right? And so, like, I was willing to do like anything to like stay married. I would do anything. I would try anything. I mean, because like I really wanted it to work, right? And when it didn't work, I realized that, like, you know, people pleasing is great, but like, as much as you want to, if someone chooses not to be pleased, or you just can't please everybody all the time. So what kind of relationship do I want to have with that? And the new relationship I have with it is that, like, I get the opportunity to please people a lot. Like, I get to, because that's the kind of person I am. I want to do that. Like, that's me, right? But when I don't want to, please don't try to like talk me into it, or, you know, because like the majority of the time I am, and I will, and I do. And I think sometimes because I am so kind of relaxed like that, and I'm willing to do anything and help anyone and stuff like that, when I tell somebody no, they don't like, they don't like it. You know what I mean? And that's not always comfortable for me, but I remind myself that I do spend a lot of time helping others, and that sometimes when I make a choice for myself, like, not everybody's going to like it. It's just somebody has the potential to get their feelings hurt. And like, whereas that sucks, I also have to do what's best for me to keep doing all this other stuff I'm doing. So like, if I stretch myself too far on a bandwidth I don't have to like help you and people please you, now everything else suffers, including myself. So like, I'm just not going to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a difference between pleasing because we like to support, or pleasing because we think we have to fit in and seek for validation and so on. Yeah.
But even in the side of pleasing, like, I wouldn't call what I do now pleasing. I would call it serving, right? So there's a difference between pleasing and serving in that way, I feel like. You know what I mean? But we get kind of confused about it a little bit because they kind of feel the same. You know what I mean? But there's also, what is your people pleasing feeling inside of you? What's that doing for you? And are you addicted to that? You know what I mean? And does that addiction push other addictions like alcohol, because to do this, you might need this.
There I have another good question for you. Apropos addiction, do you think you have a tattoo addiction? Because you have a sneaker addiction, right?
Yes, I do.
A sneakerholic, you call yourself.
Yes, ma'am. This is what I think. I think that we are all addicts in some way, some form of fashion or way. Some of us are better controlling it than others and justifying or whatever you call it. And if we all did more work on ourselves, I think we would be less addicted to stuff and things. But that is really, really hard. And so, you know, a lot of times we take the easy route. And like, that's not, I'm not judging for someone for struggle. I get it. Like, I totally get it. At the same time, to your point on the podcast, it's so much more rewarding to do it by yourself with no assistant, no aid, you know, to conquer this whole thing. You just, you know, you feel like I could do anything. I feel like, you know, and you just don't, there's so much masking going on in alcohol and, you know, people pleasing too, you know, of feelings, emotions, things and stuff like that. You know, it's just like, look, neither one of them are good, right? Drinking or people pleasing, because neither one are good.
Wow.
You got any more questions? You can ask me anything. You can ask me something about sneakers if you want to. You can ask me about anything.
I'm really curious. If you're working on a new project, on another project, what's your vision? What's your goal? What's on your plate within the next 5 years?
Okay. Do you believe in manifestation?
To a certain degree.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's really interesting that in this phase of my life that I'm in right now, I've had a lot of people ask me, what are you up to in the next like 5 years, right? And so I keep giving the same kind of answer. And so like the more I give this answer, the more like I kind of have to do it, right? Which is I'm in the process of putting together a book. I want to write a book. It's going to be a book about relationships. And and what I would really like to do is I do another podcast called Mixtape Therapy with my friend Hannah. She's a therapist. And we want to do a 2-man show and kind of do like a little tour in acting out and showing relationships and positive ways to approach difficult conversations, we'll say, right?
Wow.
Yeah, and I think it would be really cool and a lot of fun. And like, you know, she was an actor, or she went to school for acting, and I'm a ham, so I think it could be great. And so we're going to write the book together and do that. But see, like I keep saying it. That's what I'm saying. Like I have started the research, but now I keep saying it. So now if I don't do it, it looks really weird. So now like I'm kind of beholden myself to these videos and me saying I'm going to do it.
Okay, keep me posted. When's the release date? But that's great, and it's very helpful, and I think it's very you, because it's supportive and different and unique, and that's you.